Hello, and welcome to another scene in the living legend of the Five Rings. We are coming to the climax of the battle for Kamina Village, and currently we find ourselves following Asura as he makes his way through the barley fields towards the rundown manor, I guess, that the crane, or the crow rather, the crow overseer once inhabited, and where her ghost is now fleeing to. He is long since lost sight of her. She is an incorporeal being after all, but he knows where she's going, and yeah, what do you do, Nelson?
Yeah, he is running towards the hut. Makoto told her there was children in there, so he's running towards there, hoping to get there in time, even if she can go just run through the trees that he has to run around.
There are no trees. It is open
Oh, this is
fields.
a plane? Okay.
Yeah. These you're running through barley fields, cultivated barley fields. But
So yeah,
yeah,
running
go ahead.
running straight for the thinking of the children, hoping to save them, hoping to save whoever is in there too, and probably helping to help her cross to the other side.
Well, that's ambitious. Let's see. Let's see how that works out for him. So you approach, and the main door leading into the estate is wide open. It's This place isn't huge by any means. It's the largest building in the town, other than like the sake house. It's certainly the largest private residence, but it's not huge. It's kind of what Makoto expects out of like an average home in Cuban doji. Like, it is not particularly impressive, but for out here, it is definitely off by itself. It is the estate of the feudal lord, so to speak, of the town, and the door is flung open, and you hear the sounds of voices coming
From
from within.
he'll step in.
So you step inside, you find yourself in sort of the main living area almost immediately. There is a cold fire pit, um, upon which there is a rice pot that is has been used. It has not been cleaned. It is quite cold. Um, Everything inside is fairly disarrayed, and it doesn't look lived in, but it looks as though people have been here very recently. If that would make sense with what Makoto's told you.
Yeah.
And the voices seem to be coming off to the side in a side passage, sort of leading down to a set of rooms.
Okay. So he'll look for he'll go for the passage.
We'll go for the what?
The passage where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. It's
He's being
it's
careful, walking slowly. Yeah.
it's not particularly hard to figure out where the voices are coming from. And when you slide open the door, a pair of children immediately jump to their feet. One boy and one girl. They look well clothed. Their clothes are obviously, from a samurai family, not from a peasant family. But they look dirty, as though they have been haven't bathed in a while, and both of them like look at you immediately as though like you're catching them in the act of something, and they sort of clasp their hands behind their back. They're very young, younger than 10 for sure, and they just stare at you and don't say anything. Wide
I
eyed.
heard were children voices.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do not worry. And he'll smile.
They look at each other dubiously.
Yes, well, I am Togashi Asura. Who am I speaking to?
They look at each other again, and the girl sort of lowers her head and sort of whispers, kind of an audible whisper, "Kana," and the boy, sort of edges around, kind of away from you a little bit, and looking though he's frightened. He doesn't say anything.
Did Makoto mention the children? Did she mention anyone else?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone with you? Or is it just the two of you, or two of you here?
Kana nods.
How long have you been here?
She sort of like kicks the tatami mat under her feet and shrugs.
I will give you a home if you will follow me. Give you another family. If that is what you want.
The girl like looks at her little brother and then shakes her head.
As in no.
Yes. As in no.
You want to stay here?
She nods.
Who feeds you?
I do.
It is a lot of work for a little girl. For a child.
She shrugs. This is our home. And we don't know you. You might be one of the bad men.
I am of the Dragon Clan. I am not a Ronin. You probably haven't haven't been taught of the great clans yet.
She shakes her head.
I am not one of the bad men. I think your mother wants me to take care of you.
She gives you a quizzical look. And almost as if to punctuate this very awkward silence, you hear footsteps coming from behind you. Heavy footsteps.
He puts his hands on his blades on his swords as he turns around and takes them out.
Yeah, you see this individual right here, having made his way into the main living area. He looks down the hallway at you and simply smirks and says, "I thought I spied a dragon snooping around." You one of the lion's people? Please say yes.
Someone, yes, a smile. The short-sighted would say so.
Well, any sort of sight's not going to do him much good anymore. Probably not your unicorn friend either. Say, do you have a horse?
Horses are not needed back in my homeland. I do not have one yet.
It's a shame. Know someone who does. One of your other friends, maybe. His smile widens.
It would appear this village, however, has a dog.
Oh, you wound me, great samurai. But you know, sometimes cornered dogs are the most unpredictable killers. I apologize for interrupting whatever it is you're doing here. I'll just be on my way then. By the way, it should be noted that this man is absolutely splattered in blood.
I cannot let you go.
Now, you see, that's the third time that I've heard that. The last two who said it weren't so lucky. I'll give you a moment to reconsider. And he just sort of crosses his arms.
Is it the other two that were unlucky, or is it simply you that was lucky?
Well, it's hard to know. Dragon believes some very strange things.
I believe that luck runs it.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I believe that that luck runs out.
Oh. Well, maybe it does. I suppose there's nothing for it then. Come, dragon. Let's see how lucky I am.
Be prepared to sing your death song, Ronin.
I never was much of a poet. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Can we get to the right thing?
Let me start the scene real fast. Because I'm bad at this yet again. Hang on.
When that's roll 1.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Going to go for a normal attack.
Okay. You will not be able to attack him as of yet because you have a considerable ways to move to get to him.
Oh, okay, so... Well, in that case, he'll be in defense.
Okay. And moving forward?
Yeah. So it's 30 to hit him.
Okay. So he just so he just sort of backs himself out of the building into the far more open area out in front of the manor, also adopting the defense stance.
Okay, so he keeps coming.
Okay, so you move forward to engage him. Okay.
Even next turn, if I do an attack, if I go on attack, still can't get him this turn.
I'm sorry.
I mean, is he still in the same distance from him?
Yeah, pretty much. Like he negated your movement, but he's just moving to, an area where there's not a ton of stuff, under everybody's feet.
Yeah, so he'll be in then.
Okay. And so once you have moved outside, he will make his attack against you. Adopting the full attack stance for the first time.
He hits.
Does hit.
He just hits too.
Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
What is with these rolls?
Whoa.
Is he unlucky?
Yeah, he is. He is. I have not used all three for the day.
I want to see the dice. Where did this explode?
Everywhere.
Not explode. Oh,
well, that's better.
God.
So Asura is hit for 16 points of damage, which is quite a bit.
Infinitely better than 50.
It's a lot better than 50. Because 50 he'd be dead. So I can use a void point to negate 3, right?
Negate 10 points of damage.
Oh, negate 10. 10. Okay.
And
I'll
don't
negate
forget
10.
to take off some for your armor.
Yeah.
So that's 15 minus 10 is 5.
Yep.
So
you are into grazed, I believe.
Yes, because he was at 8 before.
You took 5, 8, 13. Yep. So you haven't quite closed out the grazed rank yet.
Okay, so does he have any minuses yet?
I mean, he has a minus 10 because he went full attack.
Oh, I mean to my TNs. Do I have any plus to my TNs?
I believe grazed is a plus.
I think he's still in nicked.
Nicked.
He should have one more point in nicked.
Nicked is plus 3, is what I meant. Yes. So you have a plus 3 to your TNs.
Okay. So, going to have to attack then.
You got
Shit. So it's been what? This is the third round?
This is the start of the third round.
Fuck.
What stance are you in?
I'm thinking if I go full defense. But if I go full defense, he'll go full attack. Or if I try and get him some damage.
It worked well for you the first time. You went full defense 9 turns straight.
Yeah, I'll go full defense.
Okay, roll your reflexes plus defense. Oof.
And 5, like, it's point 31.
What's that?
He's at 31 to hit him.
Yes. He just sort of like moves forward and just crushes you. But it felt much worse than the actual result. For a second there, you were pretty sure you might have been dead. You saw the flash. You saw your life flash before your eyes. And then just for whatever reason, the blade didn't go quite as deep as you thought it might. And you managed to step away with only a slight cut across your midsection. And then so now, adopting your full defense stance, the Ronin just sort of moves around you and just clucks his tongue and says, "Oh, such big words. Now struggling to back them up." Rarely do dragon make sense. Then he lunges forward to attack you once again.
I swear to God, if you roll 31.
Oh.
Well, it's not 31.
It is not 31.
Come on.
Fuck.
How
23. Fuck.
And that's out.
minus your reduction.
-1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's out. That's 3 points left and out. Not dead,
Not dead.
just real out.
Yep, so he lunges forward and plants just a nice big meaty wound right under your arm. And you just feel the worst arrhythmia in your heart and you fall to the ground. Not dead, but not feeling very well either. Hey, Makoto.
Yep.
You do have a bow.
I do have a bow. Yes, I do. Have I seen this guy coming in here?
Yes.
Okay. I cannot obviously shoot him from outside, can I?
He is outside. He and Asura
Oh.
moved outside.
Oh, that's good. How far is he from me?
I mean, it's not the easiest shot you've ever made, but that's probably just because there's blood in your eyes and everything's kind of red.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That I was actually asking more in terms of how long is it going to take him to get to me after I raise this bow?
Couple turns.
Okay.
This is still during the 4th round, yeah?
He just went, so this is the beginning of the 4th round.
Gotcha.
Makoto is going to waste around holding her shot. She's going to load the bow and watch and see what he does next.
What's your current wound penalties?
She is at injured.
Which is?
Sorry. She's taken 47 damage. I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
What's the penalties?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a plus 15. Plus
Okay.
5 for the armor. So she's at plus 20 for everything.
Plus 20.
So she's not shooting yet. She's watching him.
It is a TN25 because he has minus 10 to his armor because he full attacked. So it might be your best shot at hitting him.
Okay, we'll go ahead.
Heart of the cards.
We'll go ahead.
Going for defense did have a use then.
Indeed. Hopefully that'll keep you warm and stave away the shock from blood loss.
Warm. Oh. I just don't think she'd do it.
Well, stay true to your character.
Okay, she's just gonna hold the bow. She's gonna hold the shot.
Okay. Well, he doesn't really pay much mind to you and makes his way back into the building.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No. Okay. She starts to run and regret.
Okay. So, a couple of turns pass, and you are able to make it to Asura.
She leaves him to bleed for a second. Sorry, buddy.
Is Ashra
How?
conscious or not?
Not really. In order to do anything, you have to spend a void point.
Even talk?
pretty much.
Okay.
How long would a medicine roll take to stabilize him? I'm guessing quite a while.
Well, let's see. Shall we? Maybe long enough for a crab to show up.
I have no more void. Otherwise, that ride would be like, just run inside and save the children.
Between medicine, intelligence, TN15, or move 1, keep 1 of wounds from the victim.
Oh, that is awesome.
You said it's what intelligence medicine?
Mm-hmm.
With a TN of 35? She'll come back to you, buddy.
Okay.
I'll try it. It can't hurt to try, because there's no botching, right?
Nope.
Okay. 3, 2... 35. Oh, Nelson, I'm sorry, buddy. No. She can't help you.
Alright, so...
And she yells as she stands back up.
About a
Ronin.
minute passes trying to stabilize your friend, and your mind is just completely elsewhere at the moment. And you yell inside?
Yep.
What do you yell?
Ronin.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
To see if anyone answers.
Well, at this point, Sojiro comes breaking out of the barley.
Oh, God.
And the Ronin steps out onto the veranda and just sort of leans up against one of the posts holding up the awning. And he looks at the rest of you and says, I thought we've been over this. Ad nauseum.
Where are your friends?
I don't know.
Where are
Dead.
the children?
He just sort of like looks between the two of you and says, I'm not sure. There are children? The only children I know of are the ones lying in the dirt, bleeding out.
You bastard!
Makoto, holds up a hand and says, where?
Oh, here and there. One right there. He points to Asura. One over by the stables. A unicorn, I think. A lion in the streets.
I see. You must be a mighty warrior, then.
I don't like to brag.
What do you like?
He goes to open his mouth, and the spirit of Kaede manifests next to him and slings her sword at him, and he only barely manages to push away and kind of roll to the side as the blade passes through the wood post. And she screams in a supernatural rage, and we're back in initiative.
Oh boy. boy.
Fuck yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
So he is going to lash out at the ghost, and of course it misses and doesn't do any damage. And he looks shocked. So now it's Makoto's turn.
Okay, well, she's going to go full attack.
Asura's like, really? Now you turn up?
Asura's unconscious.
Oh, what's my attack? Hang on.
Add 2, keep 1 for full attack.
It'll be fine. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you
Also, what is the TN to hit before wound penalties?
TN to hit is a 15 before wound penalties.
Gotcha. So 18 from me.
It's reflexes. Okay, that's right.
Much higher for you. What are you doing? What are you reflexing?
For a katana roll, my brain just died.
It is agility, not reflexes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Ouch.
Get him.
I hope you weren't fighting with one hand behind your back against those other 2 Ronin.
I don't think I was.
Wow.
Wow. Does that hit with my wound penalties? With my
You are
plus
at
20?
A plus 20 to a 15 is 35. Yeah, you hit.
Oh shit. Okay.
Get him.
Show me the 50. The bill comes due.
Fucking do it.
Nope.
Quite.
But it's okay.
So, as he's distracted by this frothing ghost, you just sort of limp up right behind him and bring down a pretty brutal slash right across his back. Excuse me.
Please don't die.
Yeah, the Ronin needs to die. You need to stay alive.
Yes, please.
Working on it.
Thank you. $19 damage in the game and a 50 in real life.
Okay, yeah. So you make a nice deep gouge into his back, splattering blood on the ground, and cutting a nice long slash through his kimono. And he sort of reels away, trying to grip at the wound, and then just sort of like whips around to face you, looking thoroughly vexed. Let's see if Hida Sojiro can compound that.
Yeah, Hida Sojiro comes running up in the full attack stance. Yeah, I'm not trying to be stealthy about it. Like, lets out a very impassioned, yeah!
Ooh.
20 hits.
A 20 does indeed hit.
By 2. And here comes the train.
Ooh, yes.
All right, Sojiro, tell me how you take this guy to Pound Town.
Fucking A. All right, so yeah, Sojiro, as soon as he whips around to come eye to eye with Daidoji-san, Sojiro comes charging forth with all of the rage of fallen friends, of all shapes, sizes, creeds, and origins, and with both of his elbows at level with his head, his tetsubo clear over his head, rages forward and swings it down with tremendous force upon the back of his head.
And if you ever wanted to see a head splatter like a melon,
Oh no. Didn't.
There it is.
Honorless Ronin, your reign in Kamina ends. Kiss upon the ground.
Music to my ears. And so quiet sort of settles back down over the area as the Ronin's leg twitches violently, but he is thoroughly dead. And Kaede's spirit sort of settles back down once again, and she looks as though she closes her eyes as though she is trying to collect herself.
Makoto is going to turn and look and see if there's a mat that she can put over this body.
Sure.
Can she guide Sojiro in making a medicine roll to maybe stabilize Togashi?
Does Sojiro have medicine?
He does not.
I mean, he can roll it unskilled.
All right, so that's just a straight intelligence.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You got this. You got this. I'm knocking on some wood.
See if we can find where the blood is coming from. Tien?
TN 15. Remember, 10s don't explode.
Oh my gosh!
15.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that shit. Blood is.
You recall that one time that you had to stitch together a comrade's wounds after a particularly heated battle on the wall, and you're able to use this experience to stabilize Asura. Only one keep one.
Sure. While he's doing that, stitching him up, he just kind of mutters, "This isn't going to be pretty, Asura-san, but it's something."
I remember that poking my eye in the wound is a bad idea.
My finger slipped. Oh, whoops. I did the forward slash. One show dice. 5.
So Asura is down and not out.
Oh, I'm so happy right now. Good job.
I can't believe I fucking made that roll.
And either I'm so happy right
Which
now.
pretty much means, I guess, he's crawling.
No, you still have to spend a void point to act.
Okay.
So with the body covered and Togashi looking a little less dead, Makoto is going to say, Kaede-san, please excuse me. I'm worried for your children.
As am I.
And she's going to go start looking.
She doesn't have to look very far because almost immediately after she says that, a pair of small heads sort of poke out from under the floorboards. It appears that they had moved into a crawl space when the fighting started.
Are you injured?
And they shake their heads.
Well done. You hid well. You've conducted yourselves honorably.
As have you, comes Kaede's voice. All of you. I don't know how I can thank you.
I think you have already done your duty, Kaede-san.
He nods.
Will you do me a favor? I know I don't deserve to ask you after what's happened, but
Name your favor.
find my
Anything.
father.
She nods. Of course. They'll be well looked after.
She smiles ruefully.
They are samurai. In the making.
And I had hoped that it would not be for a few years yet, and that I would be able to see it. But that
I
is
trust
not...
you will watch still.
I hope so.
She is going to offer a bow. Kind of awkward, not quite sure what else.
To clarify, is Sojiro actually there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this Sojiro will bow as well.
I thank you, Hida-san, for slaying my killer, and the killer of so many more.
OC, can Ashura talk?
No, not
No.
a current.
Okay.
You are still unconscious, unfortunately.
Okay, he's still unconscious. I thought down was you on the floor. You just okay.
As is my duty in every samurai that raised a weapon towards him.
She sort of smiles, and despite the fact that she has no body, it almost appears as though there are tears welling in her eyes, and she moves to throw a big, healthy hug around Sojiro, and sort of just dissipates as she does so, leaving you standing there with Makoto, an unconscious Asura, and two young crow children.
Sojiro,
It appears that they have not been able to see her. They are looking at you as though all of you are crazy.
Oh,
Sojiro raises a hand to return the embrace, but oh, sad moment.
your mother has asked that we return you to your father, but there are things we must do first. If you will please wait away from... And she gestures to the body.
They nod and sort of scamper back inside and close the shoji screen.
And don't poke the sleeping man.
She's gonna turn to Sojiro, and now that there's nobody but the unconscious Ashura here, she's gonna give him just the sudden grin, like the moon coming up over the hills. That's just kind of terrified, just for about 2 seconds, and then she fixes it, and she's like, "I'm so glad you were there." Now there's a unicorn and a lion bleeding in the street somewhere. And somewhere a scorpion.
He wipes the specks of blood off of his face and nods. It says, I think Asura is going to be okay. For now. How would you like to divvy up the search?
We'll take this body with us as far from the house as you can bear to drag it. She kind of eyeballs him, trying to guess how wounded he is.
His armor has a solid dent in the breastplate, but otherwise he still stands, with conviction.
There may be Ronin still in the town. I think it wise if we move together and quickly.
And so the two samurai gather up their bodies, so to speak, and begin making their way back towards Kamina village, where they find an equally wounded Moto Tetsumura, who is currently being tended to by Iuchi Yume with sweet healing magics. And Sojiro will have no problem leaving Asura in her capable hands, as well as Seimei having made his way back. And you all tally up the total dead. The Ashigaru have rounded up the peasants. Night has begun to fall. And the Battle of Kamina Village comes to a close. And with that, I think we can end the scene.